to talk to you a little bit about the charity that we're doing and what the donations are going to. And it all goes together. It's part of Yoga in Action, and the Yoga Women movie is all part together. And so I joined the Global Seva Challenge this year, and it's a big commitment. And I saw it on the website, and I instantly decided I am joining that Global Seva Challenge. And then it took 2 weeks to kind of process it and feel how I really felt about it before I got my application in. And so I have done it. So the challenge is that I am to raise $20,000 for this year, and which seems a little daunting, but so you're going to hear from me a lot. But the cause was really, really close to my heart. When I did my Yoga in Action intensive at the Omega Institute in New York State, it was June 2010. And we do this exercise. Some of the Yoga in Action people here that are here tonight, they know this exercise. It's what breaks your heart. And I came out of there, and we get into smaller groups, and victims of sex abuse and sexual abuse just breaks my heart. And Sean, who you'll see in the movie tonight, she looked at me and she said, "Sometimes our life purpose disgusts us." And I went, yeah, it did, big time, or does. And so I came home, and of course, when you put energy into something, it manifests. And so I started having clients and that had that issue, and I dealt with them as a counselor, which is what my background is, and as a therapist, not as an activist. And so, and of course we all have stories, and it stems back, my life purpose didn't just pop out of thin air, it comes from other stories from my past. And I'm going to share one story with you that was really instrumental in me making this decision. Is when I was first a social worker, and I worked at ADAC, which is the Alberta Alcoholism and Drug Abuse Commission. I worked in a detox center, and I had a client, and he was a young man, and he said, "I have been stalking 2 young boys, and I'm going to rape them." And I did everything in my power. I went to my supervisors went to their supervisors, we contacted the police. We did everything in our power to try and prevent him. It was a detox center, so they were only there 7 to 10 days, 5 to 10 days. And I tried to get him into further treatment, 21-day program, and he chose not to do that. And he left the center, ADAC, and he did rape those 2 boys. And the next time I had to go to the prison and see him in jail, and he had confessed, and he had no problem confessing it to me. I told you I was going to do it, and he did. And so even though it's the Global Seva Challenge is India, we know it's close to home. We know it's all around the whole world. It affects hundreds of thousands of women and children, little boys and little girls all the time. And so that is why I chose this, and I chose to take off my rose-colored glasses. I could have left them on, and I've got this nice little family and household and 3 children, and it's a really beautiful life, but I made that decision this year to take them off and look at the ugly. So I'm going to give you some of the statistics. There are more slaves in this day and age than ever before. Isn't that shocking? The number is estimated at 27 million slaves. Sex trafficking is a $32 billion industry, the 3rd largest criminal industry just behind arms and drugs. Conservatively, 3 million women and children are enslaved for sex right now, and each of them is between the ages of 12 and 14. I have a 14-year-old that's in Quebec right now, a 14-year-old little boy. Young children are often sold by their parents in desperation due to extreme poverty. In India, one of the hotbeds of sex trade, children are sold into slavery as religious tradition. Daughters as young as 8 are offered to temples as gifts, then used by holy men for sex. When they are older, then they are sold to the brothels. Poverty is one root cause for sex trafficking. Traffickers prey on this desperation and vulnerability. And police corruption is another cause. So like even in our own country, the police couldn't do anything, their hands were tied. In many countries, including India and Cambodia, police and government officials contribute to the problem. And so I joined the Global Seva Challenge because they make a difference. They raise over $500,000, and then they go over to those countries and really, you'll see it in this movie where they went to Uganda and they built school, and they go and they have gone to other countries and built birthing centers. And so after the year, then they'll go to India, and we'll go to India and we'll do what we can. What they want to do is they want to address the root causes of trafficking, create stronger prosecution and law enforcement, help victims recover and reintegrate back into society, and shift some of society's beliefs and values about women. All right, so we're going to just, I'm going to sit down, and we're just going to start with an Om. So just bring your hands in prayer. You'll all stay standing. And just get your feet grounded onto the floor. And just close your eyes. And we're just going to send a collective Om out to all the women and children who are suffering right now. Take a deep breath in. And let's just exhale the first breath out. And now let's inhale for an Om. Om.